Hey everybody, it's a situational therapist. I hope you're doing well. I'm back from my vacation. I actually took a 2-week vacation and I haven't made very many videos in a while. And so I thought that I would make a video and talk about some stuff. So while I was on my vacation, I realized that I gotta hurry up and get this shit started. I don't have time to be playing around no more. Shit is going absolutely crazy and y'all need somebody to come through with actual help and actual advice because most therapists are full of shit. So this is my new show, Free Therapy Advice. I usually wake up before y'all anyway, so I'll go ahead and get it out there and then you can have it for the rest of the day. And so today's free therapy advice is stop looking at things from other people's perspectives to the detriment of your own. Think about that for a second. Oh, it's still marijuana. I just put it in a teacup. So that way, people won't be so upset about it. When I was married, every time me and my wife would get into a fight or get into an argument, I would always lose them at the end. Even arguments where I felt like I had done absolutely nothing wrong or hadn't done as bad as what it sounded, I always felt like I was just in the wrong. During my vacation, I became woke. Now, I don't mean that in the pejorative sense. I just mean I became aware of a better way to describe my experience within the world. What I mean by that is that for so long, I have had this perspective, this point of view that has been completely, totally, and utterly co-opted and informed by white supremacy and racism. I used to make fun of myself and say that I was a black Republican, but I have some old pictures of myself where I absolutely was being the sort of black guy that I needed to be in order to make white people comfortable. Now, I always believed that when I did that, I was doing it because it was the safe option. I was doing it because it made me better than those black people somehow who wear t-shirts and thug around everywhere. I thought that I had chosen that life. I didn't know that the black Republican life had chose me. But in actuality, what I was doing was I was stifling a part of myself. I was stifling the creativity inside of me. White America was letting me know that it is okay for me to be an individual as long as I look like this, right? And that's why so many black Republicans all look the same, because it's the stereotype. Ooh, stereotype? That was almost a mistake, but I'm gonna go with that. It's the stereotype that white people have put us into. It's okay to be black as long as you are that black. But what I didn't realize, and what I didn't get until I took my 2-week vacation, my perspective, the way I saw things was white. Now, most white people don't see themselves as having a perspective because they don't see themselves as white. Black is a category of people, is a category of persons that are just non-white. And so when you understand that, you can see how you can adopt that perspective and see things in that way. And so I saw thuggish people as that way because of personal moral failings, because I decided to conveniently forget that there are 400 years of slavery and stuff that we have to deal with. But my perspective was one of white is right. That's what my perspective was. You can look at things from a white perspective, but the problem with that is that then you don't have one. So for example, once my car got broken into, I was on my way to work and my car got broken into. The glass was broken. And so as I sat inside of my car trying to figure out how I was gonna fix this problem, a police officer, a lady, drove up behind me. Didn't get out of the car and ask me if I needed help. Didn't do anything but just get behind my car, take down my plate number and drive away. Now, there are a lot of ways that I could look at that situation. There's so many ways I can look at that situation. Maybe she had a bunch of stuff to do that day and she was just taking it down as, look, here goes another incident where someone's car is broken into. Maybe she thought that I was some sort of criminal, but you know what's missing? The communication. She didn't talk to me and I didn't have an explanation for that. The only way I could explain why she didn't talk to me was to appeal to the fact that she was an authority figure or appeal to the fact that she was a police officer. But it never crossed my mind that this might be because of racism. And that's what having that white perspective does. That's what having the perspective that black people are all lazy, or they just need to pull themselves up for their bootstraps, or you just need to be a black Republican and work. Like, that's what that perspective does. It prevents you from seeing other reasons for why people do things. Now, some people like to call that overthinking. And to those people, I say, suck on my left nut, fuck you. Some people might call that overthinking. And from some perspectives, that's right. You don't need to think that way all the time. Overthinking can absolutely get you in trouble. Overthinking made me miss a threesome one time. Oh, I'm being real. Absolutely. So one time on Bumble, I matched with this girl And she was like, yeah, no, that's so cool. Let's go on a date. And I was like, yeah, this is great. This is fine. Back before we used to go out on dates and stuff. And so like, as we were getting things set up for the date, and again, I know that people want to call this overthinking, but I don't necessarily think that it is overthinking. I think this is just my perspective on stuff. But like 10 minutes after we were supposed to meet one place, she was like, hey, do you mind if my friend comes along? And I'm like, your friend wants to come along to our date? What is this? This is weird. I mean, I was going out on a date with a white girl. If you guys want to see what the color palette of my dating life looks like, bruh, just get like white. And then that's what it is. I'm gonna put up an image of the color palette of my dating life. And so she said that her and her black friend, which she sent me a picture of, they both wanted to go out on a date with me. Now this is post-divorce. If you saw my other video, this is post-divorce. Absolutely, you know, I'm ready to get out there. But then I just heard this voice in the back of my head that said, bruh, ain't no way no girls wanna have no threesome with you, bruh. You about to get human trafficked. Now, I know that jumping to getting human trafficked seems like quite a logical leap. And I can understand how one might think that's overthinking unless you know the statistics and stuff. You know what I'm saying? The truth of the matter is either I just lost a threesome or I have a kidney today because I decided to say, forget that mess. Nah, bruh, that ain't cool to me. You can't be changing stuff at the last minute like that. Now, overthinking? Maybe, but it's possible that it saved my life. And so what other people call overthinking, I call my perspective. And that's the issue. People will tell you that my ex-wife used to say I overthought all the time. And now I understand she was never thinking of anything from my perspective. It was always about her. Girl, I am a black man that grew up in a country that used to like buy and sell me. Of course I'm gonna defer to you on everything. I used to think white was the standard of beauty. We're gonna get back to perspective and stuff. You know what, I'm gonna go ahead and get back. So the point that I'm making through these stories is you have got to have your own perspective. You have to look at things from your own point of view. Stop trying to be empathetic. Stop trying to care. I turned myself into an anxious mess because I tried to look at something from someone else's perspective and I had to insert thoughts that wouldn't have gone there because they're not my thoughts, they're theirs. So to look at things from your own perspective, you have to start saying shit that people don't want to hear. You just have to say it. You just have to say things that people don't want to hear. For example, spanking causes autism. People don't want to hear that. Parents don't want to hear that spanking causes autism. Parents don't want to hear that Autism Speaks is a stupid ass organization that abuses people that are autistic. Stop calling it autism. Autism is a disease label. People are born differently. And what happens is there are families where they have children where they were expecting them to be a CEO, a cheerleader, a basketball player, and the child comes out with I don't know, their own sense of purpose and shit that they want to do. And so then they start beating their kids. And when you beat your children, that messes you up. That shit sticks with you for the rest of your life. I'm 31 years old and I still have issues in my life because I got beat as a child. That's why I can't just sit, chill with friends and like even hang out without going into an anxious mess because I'm so concerned that I'm gonna do something wrong in the next moment and upset someone. Spanking causes a syndrome that is similar to autism. How about that? The point is you gotta have your perspective. Say stuff that people don't want to agree with. And you know what's so annoying about this shit is idiots do this all the time, bro. People out here talking about COVID-19 is a hoax. I was following everything you were saying on your channel, Derrick, until you started talking about COVID. Wake up, bro. Get off of my channel with that BS. If you were subscribed, please unsubscribe. Oh my God. Like, idiots are so proud to do it. Smart folks, y'all gotta do it too. Just start saying stuff people don't want to hear. When someone asks you this morning, how you doing? How you feeling? You know what? We're in the middle of a pandemic. I'm concerned about this vaccine. I don't know how I'm gonna make ends meet and I'm just terrified. How about you? And just watch people. Watch how they act. But stop saying stuff from other people's perspective. Stop looking at things from other people's perspective. Start making and developing your own. Do what you want to do. Just try it. Try it today, this week, whenever you watch this message. Just very simple. When someone asks you how you're doing, when someone says, hey, what's going on? Just tell them the truth. Say exactly what it is, how you feel. Show them your perspective. Show them how you see the world. Do anything other than say, hey, yeah, I'm fine. Fuck that noise. Ain't nothing fine about it. Long story short, Have your perspective. Do what the fuck you wanna do. It don't matter what people say to you. You can do it if you want to. Fuck them all. Tell them to suck on your big fat balls. Get them. Do what you want. Do what you want to do. This is the black version of just do it. Find your perspective and do whatever the hell it is that you want to do. And I will see you guys tomorrow morning. Bye bye.